All right, we back with another one. I know it look a little crazy right now. Excuse me. I'm just waking up. I'll set y'all right here. So, you know what I noticed? I really noticed that a lot of people are afraid of success. And what do I mean by that? I feel like people are afraid to take the chances that basically equal success. So, for those of y'all that know me, I deal with people when it comes to credit, getting them funding, getting them home loans, getting them auto loans, getting these type of things. But I noticed that a lot of people scared to take the chances that it takes to get put in those better positions. And you just basically, you get content with basically living the life that you live, but you also complaining about living the life that you live because you're in a position that ultimately you do not feel comfortable being in, or you feel like you should not still be in. But it's going to take those risks in order for you to be put in a better position. I hope y'all do this when y'all wake up too. Brush your teeth. But yeah, so you gotta do something different to get something different. I'm sure you heard that saying before. Hold on, wait. All right, family. Yeah, my fault. I had to brush my teeth. That's what you're supposed to do before you go out into society. But it's a good day out here. But yeah, so I left my key. So today's video is about taking that chance, man. For those of you that know me, I deal with people all day, every day. When it comes to credit repair, funding, just financial literacy all around. So I hear about a little bit of everything when it comes to people's life. People tend to trust me with their life decisions, whether it's just talking about their goals and it's me explaining to them how to get there. But people tend to trust me in those areas. So I kind of just wanted to talk about that a little bit. Hold on one second, y'all. Oh, man. All right, so yeah, so I figured I come to y'all and talk to y'all before I get my day started about this topic. Because I deal with clients all the time, and I hear one common thing, and it's people, when I'm telling them to do certain things, they scared to do it. But I'm asking them, okay, how is it that you desire to experience certain levels of life, but you're scared to do what it takes to experience those levels? Like, how is it possible to achieve something if you're scared to do what it takes to achieve it, right? So I could be telling somebody to do something as simple as open up a credit card. I don't want a credit card, right? But I get it because, growing up, at some point we may have been told to stay away from debt. And all debt is not bad debt. But the thing is, we never taught the difference between good debt and bad debt. And that's what leads to us being scared, because we don't understand the difference. Debt sounds intimidating. It sounds like a bad thing. But put it like this. If you put yourself in $1 million worth of debt, but that $1 million worth of debt is bringing you an extra, let's just say $7,500 a month, is that worth it? Average person not even making $7,500 a month at their job, and they actually putting a lot of time and effort on a day-to-day basis at that job, right? And, granted, you can say that you're debt-free, but at the end of the day, you have good debt. You got people that's billionaires who leverage their credit enough to get a certain level of debt to put them in a financially free position, right? If your goals in life cost you $100,000, and you're only making $60,000 to $70,000 a year on your job, and that's not even take home, how is it possible to ever save up enough to invest into that $100,000 goal that you want? unless you do things that's going to expose you or give you access to that $100,000, which is get a credit card, start an installment loan, some kind of pledge loan at Navy Federal. Bank of America has a credit builder loan. Starting things like this is what's going to open the doors. Going and getting an auto loan. You might get a bad interest rate at some point because you're starting off, but once your credit starts to build up, go and refinance it, get a lower interest rate. These are all things that you have to do in order to play the credit game. The game that they designed for us to play, that we're not really taught how to play. I'm trying to teach y'all how to play the game. That's it. So you got to go out and expose yourself and show these banks that you can actually manage or handle what they give you, right? So, you know, I know growing up, I was taught to get a credit card, right? And that credit card might only be $200. And I was told to put, it's not just me, it's the average person is told to just put gas and groceries on these credit cards, small purchases. But when you align yourself with that logic, banks only gonna trust you with small things. There's no way for you to fund your dreams or fund your goals on a grocery and gas budget. That's not possible, right? So when you expose yourself and you leverage your credit to the point to where banks can run your report and say, oh, I can trust this person with, you know, 50,000, 70,000. That's when you start to unlock those different levels, right? You might not get the 100,000 right out the gate, but you now expose yourself to get the ball rolling to 50,000, 25,000. Something that people, more than likely the average person, would never even save, right? These banks are giving it to you. So now, if they give you the 20,000 and you put the 20,000 out there to work for you, you're now putting yourself in a position to basically profit off of that 20, get them their 20 back, keep the extras, and now that's more than likely more than what you're making at your job. So now that you paid them the 20 back, or even if you halfway pay them the 20 back and you reapply for something else, they more than likely going to trust you with more because you've proven that you're able to handle what they've given you. But a lot of people scared to even put themselves in this position, but you got to do something different to get something different. And earlier I was telling myself, and I always say this, like, you know, you got to take the risk at failing. And I know that sounds intimidating because nobody wants to fail, but you have to expose yourself to failure in order to also expose yourself to success. If I shoot a shot, I'm only going to know if I'm going to make it unless I shoot it. But I also expose myself to the possibility of missing it, while still exposing myself to the possibility of making it, but I wouldn't know that unless I tried. Everything else in life is the same concept. You're not going to expose yourself to success unless you also expose yourself to failure. But the thing about the credit game is, even if you fail, guess what? You can just get it off your credit and try again. That's what people do. That's the good thing about credit. There's credit repair out there as well. So just in case you mess up, you can repair it. So, you know, I just made this video to kind of enlighten you guys on the reality of life, and especially when it comes to this credit stuff and achieving certain goals. If you're not aligning yourself with what it takes to achieve the goal, I don't know how you can possibly think that the goal is obtainable because you're not doing anything to achieve it realistically. So stop being so scared, because at the end of the day, we're not getting none of this time back. So if you wasted your 20s, your 30s being scared, more than likely you're going to be scared in your 40s, your 50s, and time is slowly fading away for you, right? Those dreams that you might have had might have been a dream that aligned with your younger years, so you got to take advantage of the now. Well, that's enough of me talking. I know I told you guys I'd be a little more consistent. I've had YouTube for years, but I always lack consistency. And this is me just being transparent with myself. In order to be successful at anything, it's going to require consistency. So if I want to be successful at YouTube, I have to be realistic with myself and tell myself I need to be consistent. So even if I'm tired, I got to wake up and make a video, because I feel like that's what it's going to take in order for me to be successful in this area. So if you like these videos, and every video may not be a video of me talking, probably video of me just showing my life, going on vacations, buying certain things, explaining to you how I'm able to buy these things. I'm getting into real estate soon, so I want to bring you guys on that journey as well. But yeah, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you like what I'm talking about, or if you're looking forward to seeing other things that I'm doing, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get notifications on when I post. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Let's go.